So it's January 9th. The new year has just begun and it's finally 2024. And considering what we had for Star Wars last year, there's not much to expect. There was a really good video game, but then there was just these shows that had a lot of mixed reviews. Then there was a huge announcement which could possibly change Star Wars for this whole year, many years after, and the future. Hey everyone, I'm the Jedi from Hoth. Please like and subscribe to this video if you want to see more Star Wars content like this. Enjoy the video. So you've probably seen on YouTube, if you're a big Star Wars fan or just scrolling around the internet, that there's a new Star Wars movie coming to theaters. And considering it's been since before COVID that we've had a Star Wars movie, this is great news. But many fans are excited, but also are questioning many things about this movie. Alright, so I was on the Star Wars website and I saw this article and I wanted to show it to you guys because this is huge news. The Mandalorian and Grogu journeys to the big screen, and it is by Star Wars .com team. So it's Star Wars team. And honestly, from we can see right now from the concept art, it shows Mando and Grogu flying away from an exploding ship, which honestly looks super duper cool. I don't know what type of ship it is. I can't really make it out because it's all destroyed right now. But Mando looks good, and same with Grogu, as they always do. All right, let's get on to this. The Mandalorian and Grogu are embarking on a new adventure to the movie theaters. Directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, and Dave Filoni, The Mandalorian and Grogu will go into production in 2024. So that means I guess they're going to start filming in 2024, and it could possibly come out in maybe, let's see, maybe 2026, hopefully, unless it gets postponed, which happens to a lot of stuff that Disney makes. I have loved telling stories set in the rich world that George Lucas created, said Favreau. The prospect of bringing the Mandalorian and his apprentice Grogu to the big screen is extremely exciting. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have ushered into Star Wars two new and beloved characters, and this new story is a perfect fit for the big screen, added Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm. Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm's ongoing feature development slate, including films helmed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy and Dave Filoni, who will also be currently developing Ahsoka Season 2, among these in the works. So overall, this whole article is pretty short, but it gets everything to the points that they want to talk about. And I like how they ended off with "this is the way." That's really cool. But so we'll start at the bottom. It says it's official that there's going to be an Ahsoka Season 2, which is really, really cool, and I'm super excited for that because it has been a while since Ahsoka came out, I think. I don't know, it came out this year. I might just be thinking of a different show. But Ahsoka Episode 5 was absolutely amazing. It was like everything we ever wanted. And then the rest of the season was just pretty bad. It was alright. And Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, she is the person that all the controversy is around right now because she's directing the Rey movie and she was just given the director spot by just out of the blue. And she's saying some stuff that's not very good. And then there's James Mangold. I don't know who this guy is yet, but I'm going to look into him and see what movies he's done. And he's possibly could be a really good director for Star Wars and maybe change everything up. And then you know him. We all love him. It's Dave Filoni, the guy who did Clone Wars, helped with the prequels. He's basically George's apprentice, George Lucas. We need him on the Star Wars projects. He's an amazing storyteller. The announcement of this movie is raising many, many questions. First, let's start off with Ahsoka, because it's not the main thing that we're talking about today. Ahsoka Season 1 gave many fans mixed reviews of this show. Although Episode 5 was incredible, the rest of the show didn't really live up to what Episode 5 gave to it. The beginning of this season was completely just slow and dragging, and not very suspenseful until the fourth episode at the end when you finally heard Anakin's voice after so long. And then there was episode 5, which was absolutely incredible. It gave all the fans everything we wanted. We even got Clone Wars flashbacks. Nobody was expecting it. We got to see Rex in live action. Hayden Christensen came back to play Anakin, and we got young Ahsoka, and the actor, I don't know her name, she did a wicked job on it. And then the rest of the season was pretty slow, and in my opinion, it didn't really make sense to how they were going to set up the Dave Filoni movie, which is probably going to be a continuation of all of the shows and then all of the characters combined, like in Endgame or Infinity War for Avengers. But yeah, the rest of the season was also bad. The best episodes were episode 4, 5, and possibly 6 because of Thrawn's wicked entrance, which I thought was really cool. And now on to Mando. Season 3 of Mando was just, in my opinion, not very good. Some people even say it was a complete dumpster fire. All of the episodes were very rushed. Just think about it. If you were to start a Mando Season 3 episode, started it, and watched it to the end, it would just be rushed to the whole entire end. The episode with Jack Black and Lizzo was not needed. I love Jack Black as an actor and a comedian. He is so funny. And Lizzo, I've heard some of her music. She seems pretty good at what she does. No hate to either of them. I just don't think they needed to be in Star Wars in this way. If, say, Jack Black or Lizzo wanted to be in Star Wars, maybe as a different role and not using up a whole Mandalorian episode. And episode 3 of Mando had barely any Mando or Grogu in it. It was just this scientist guy on Coruscant who we saw in the old Mando season 1 or 2, and everybody forgot about him. I didn't even know who he was when I watched it. But many fans are wondering these big questions. Is this the end of Mando, or will there still be a season 4? The mythosaur was introduced in season 3, but will it still have a huge impact in the movie? Because personally, my favorite part of season 3 was the mythosaur because of the CGI, and I was like, holy, this thing's cool. I did some research, and I was like, wow, this thing is legendary as it is the mythosaur. And also, fans are wondering, will there be a movie and then season 4? A huge question is, will it even come out? Right now, this looks like a super desperate act from Disney because they are taking a lot of heat from the Rey movie and how much work they're putting into it and Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's stuff. And maybe she's a good director and we just don't know it yet. I'm just going to keep an open mind on that. But considering what she's saying right now, I don't think the movie's going to be good. It's just going to be so Disney can look good and get some cash because Star Wars is not doing good. They're trying to hype up Star Wars for the sequel fans because they all like Rey and everybody else doesn't. There have been so many Star Wars projects that have just been canceled after being announced, like Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadrons was supposed to be a wicked Star Wars show about flying around in X-Wings, A-Wings, Y-Wings, B-Wings, probably many different Star Wars ships like Star Wars Squadrons, the video game, or even Battlefront. And it was going to be based on the story of probably, remember in New Hope, all of the people that were flying, like Red 5, which was Luke, and Gold Leader, all those people that were in the Battle of Yavin? It's going to be something with those guys, or a squadron of rebellion starfighters. It was going to be such a good movie because so many kids, including myself, have dreamed of flying in an X-Wing ever since they were little kids. And it is just heartbreaking to me that they would cancel a show just like that. And even the director had a personal bond to the show because her father was in the Air Force. And if you don't know, the starfighters in Star Wars are just like the Air Force here on Earth. It would be so awesome to have that show, but Disney just straight up canceled it. It was either Disney just didn't want it or something Kathleen Kennedy didn't like about it. And if this thing that I'm about to say happens, I will be completely disgusted. And in my opinion, Star Wars will just be gone. It will not be able to build itself back up. What if all of the heat dies down and Disney just cancels The Mandalorian and Grogu to put all of their efforts onto the Rey movie? If this happens, everybody will be disgusted with Disney because this Mandalorian movie is the only thing giving Star Wars fans hope that they can get the old Star Wars they used to love, from the original trilogy to the prequels, and some people even the sequels. But this Rey movie, if they put all of their efforts onto it and go away from the Mandalorian movie, people are going to stop watching Star Wars at all. Disney Plus subscriptions canceled, selling their DVDs maybe, I don't know. It's just going to be an absolute catastrophe. And I really hope this doesn't happen because I love Star Wars. Considering that 2024 has already gotten off to a bad start for Star Wars, this just looks like a desperate act for Disney. But it also makes me excited. After have not being able to see a Star Wars movie in the theaters since before COVID, fans miss the old days when they'd get to go to the movies and watch Star Wars. They'd grab popcorn, their drink, and maybe even their favorite candy and watch Star Wars, where it started, in the theaters. I'm happy to say that if this movie comes out, I will be buying a ticket to go and see The Mandalorian and Grogu with my family because we all love The Mandalorian show, and this is giving me hope that Star Wars may finally be back in the theaters where it all started. Hey guys, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Also, comment down below on what you think of this topic. Thanks. Have a great day.